It is a pantheon of concrete and steel. It is a city that rises defiantly in the Delta, alongside the father of waters. It is the humidity of autumn evenings that drapes stately oaks and broad magnolias. It is haunted, and it is loud. It is Halloween night and cannon blasts. It is a Louisiana gumbo of humanity that cheers its tigers to victory and destroys the dreams of invading foes. The chance of rain is never. It is the cathedral of college football, and worship happens here, when the sun finds its home in the western sky. It is a field of glory, for sure, but much more than that. It is a sacred place. And it is Saturday night in Death Valley.
Oh yeah, 5-star LSU. I said they ain't ready for the LSU. No, they ain't ready for the LSU, huh? They ain't ready for the LSU. No, they ain't ready for the LSU. We the best in the league if you looking for talent. LSU going hard, but we beat Alabama, then we going out to Florida. Drown the Gators, everybody getting bucked when we step in the stadium. This the LSU anthem, you know it's a hit. You don't know another rapper two-step like this. See me screaming out the window, yelling purple and gold. I'm an LSU fan, girl, you know how we roll now. Back and back it on up. Hey, back and back it on up. Hey, back and back it on up. Hey, back and back it on up.
Hey, we are live with a bonus episode here. Sorry, guys, for a little bit of a delayed start. It's all good. We had some technical difficulties. You know how it goes. But we got it straightened out, and we're excited about having Tayvion on. Obviously, a big-time prospect in the 2024 recruiting class, tight end out of Ohio. I'm going to have to ask him how to pronounce it, okay, the city. All right, because it looks like Chillicothe or Chillicothe. I don't know. We're going to have to ask Tayvion exactly how to pronounce that and his hometown whenever he gets in here. But we're excited to have him on. We appreciate him taking some time to do that. Aunt Marshall's already in here. What's up, fellas? What's up? Zach, I think we need to talk briefly, I guess, about recruiting before we bring Tayvion in. Obviously, recruitment has been quite busy as of late, and within 5 minutes now, it may get even busier with Kylan Jackson committing the big-time safety out of Zachary High School there in Zachary, Louisiana. So, Zach, I mean, what has this recruiting process been so far with the new staff? Like, I mean, you know, we were worried about, you know, how's this new staff going to do? How are they going to do the state of Louisiana? How are they going to do outside of the state of Louisiana? You know, what can you say to what the job that this staff has done?
I mean, I think they've done a phenomenal job. I mean, BK emphasized wanting to get guys that could recruit in Louisiana, and he did exactly that. He went out and he got guys that had Louisiana ties, could recruit in Louisiana. He brought, obviously, his experience in recruiting the country nationally. Obviously, Tayvion is a fine example of that in recruiting the nation. And so I think they've done a phenomenal job. And obviously we've talked about that and discussed, you know, we're not as worried as much as some of LSU fans may be. We think they're going to do perfectly fine. And I think that'll continue today.
Absolutely. I definitely agree. All right. So, guys, we're going to ask Tayvion some questions, obviously. If you have questions for him, please go ahead and start putting them in the comment section so we can star them, so we can mark them, so we can get to as many as possible. We will give you, if we're still live when the announcement happens, we will give you a breaking news on where Kylan decides. Obviously, he's picking between the Tigers and Texas A&M. So if we're still live when he decides, we'll get to that. But if you got questions for Tayvion, please go ahead and start putting them in there now. So, Zach, if Tayvion's in, go ahead and bring him in here.
Let's do it. Pull him up real quick. What's up, man?
What's good? How are y'all guys doing?
We're doing
good. Appreciate you taking the time to hop on here, Tayvion. I know it took us a little bit, but we figured it out. We got it going now.
Yeah, yes, sir. No problem. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, man, we appreciate you. So, hey, look, obviously you are a big name in the next class, the 2024 class, one of the top tight ends in the nation. You talked to, I'm sure, many schools, and I'm sure there's many schools still trying to talk to you, even though you are committed to the Tigers. You're a pretty high-value player, one of the top guys in the state of Ohio. So what has this recruitment process been like, and ultimately what led to your decision for LSU?
My recruitment process, it's been pretty smooth for me. It probably started around a year ago. I started going on game day visits and things like that throughout the season. And I was just keeping in contact with coaches and everything. But to me, I wasn't really in a rush on my commitment. I wasn't in a rush to make a decision or anything. I just always thought in my head that I'll just make the decision when the time is right. And with LSU, I just felt that was just the best school for me, and just every aspect, because Coach into the league. I thought that was a great thing. And then just being able to play in the SEC where the best football is played, down south, that's just where it's at. And, for me, it was an easy decision, because to me, like, ever since my first time going to LSU, it just felt like home. All the coaches made me feel at home. They made my family feel at home. It was just a great, easy decision for me.
That's awesome. Glad to hear. Zach, you got a question for him?
Yeah, so, man, obviously you're coming into your junior season, and I know you've made the commitment already, but now that you've made your commitment and you mentioned it, you put it out on Twitter, hey, this is going to be my last interview. I'm about to get really focused in. I wanted to ask, what is one area of your game that you really want to hone in this upcoming season, in your junior season, and try to make better about yourself?
Really just showing that I'm just a mismatch nightmare for a DB or a linebacker, and just showing like, if you get me out on the route, I'm gonna create separation. I'm gonna make the big play, and after I catch the ball, I'm gonna get to that end zone. It's not gonna be easy to tackle me.
Yeah, absolutely. To kind of bounce off that question, a good question here Ant Marshall's got in the comments. He says to ask Tayvion, who do you model your game after?
I wouldn't really say that there's just any guy that I model my game after. There might be a few guys that I might look at a little film from, just taking a little bit from their games, just adding anything that I feel could make my game better.
Awesome. Hey, so I mentioned it briefly in our intro, but how do you pronounce the city you live in there in Ohio? Is it Chillicothe or Chili? How do you pronounce it?
It's Chillicothe.
Chillicothe.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Gotcha. Chillicothe. It looks like they have some great things there at that high school. I looked at the stadium alone, and it looks to be a great facility there. What role has your high school and your coaches there played into your ability to now have Division I offers all over the place and be one of the best players in the country?
To me, I wouldn't really say my high school really had anything to do with it, because I just recently transferred to this high school. Well, I wouldn't say it's recent, but I transferred around the winter time.
I got you.
Yes, sir.
So it's just you got that raw talent, I guess.
I guess.
There you go, Zach. You got something for him?
Hey, well, I know we're going to talk football, and we love to talk football with you, but we want to get to know more about you, Tayvion, and who you are as a person outside of football. So, what would be one hobby that you would tell us outside of football that you just really enjoy, that you love to do? Something that you just, I mean, is it playing a video game? Are you outdoors doing something? I mean, what's the biggest thing you love to do outside of football?
The biggest thing outside of football, I'll probably say basketball. That was really my first love as a sport, and that's still like the sport that I feel like I'm real passionate about.
Okay.
But if we're just talking about like besides like athletics and stuff like that, it'll probably just be, I don't know. I like watching like movie, TV. Like, I
Okay.
don't know. I like things like that. Just chill things.
So is there like a certain like TV show or movie series that you just like are extremely passionate about?
I wouldn't say, I don't. I wouldn't say I'm really passionate about like any series or anything like that, but like a genre of TV that I like to watch is like anime. I like watching like Dragon Ball
Okay.
Z, Naruto, things
There
like
you
that.
go. There you go.
Okay. Cool.
There you go. I mean, they got some
Yeah.
athletes in them animes, man. That'd be, I mean, for real. If folks had like the abilities that some of them dudes have, they could be incredible athletes. So maybe you model your game after Naruto or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. Ant's got another question here. I don't know if I've heard a question like this before. This is kind of a unique question. What's your favorite pregame meal?
My favorite pregame meal. Usually I like to snack on things. Like I might eat some like Slim Jims before the game, or just like some little things that could give me like a boost of energy. Some Snickers. I like to eat like peanuts.
There you go. There you go. So, Tayvion, just another kind of personal note here. Something that Zach and I can really appreciate that we've seen from you on your Twitter. You're pretty open about your faith. Zach and I, we're not ashamed to speak on our channel here about our faith. We obviously believe that Christ is the Lord of our life and is the center of our life above all things. And so we really appreciate you sharing your faith on social media.
Yeah.
I'm actually a pastor in Jonesboro, Arkansas. This is kind of a hobby of mine that I get to do. My life's work is the Lord's ministry. So talk about your faith a little bit. I mean, how much does that play a role in your life? Obviously, I mean, for us and our perspective, and I'm sure it is for you, it's probably the number one thing in your life.
Yeah. For me, God's really everything. Just me growing up, my dad just always taught me to just put my faith in God. And, I really believe that's the reason that I was able to make it this far and just help to be able to battle adversity and just things like that. It's always been God for me.
That's awesome. We love hearing those things, and we're excited about you implementing that. Maybe into the LSU locker room in the future. I mean, we'd love to see those things. Recently I saw the Auburn basketball team took a trip to Israel and kind of had some great moments together there. In of course, Israel is God's chosen nation. So that's maybe some things you can implement in guys' life, just with your own testimony, the way you live your life. Zach, you got a question for him?
Well, we do have breaking news.
Yes.
Kyla Jackson, the 4-star safety out of the 2023 class, has committed to the LSU Tigers. So,
yes, sir.
Joining the crew. Tayvion, how's exciting? I know you're a year behind these guys, but how exciting has it been for you to get to see this 2023 recruiting class come together? I mean, does it make you excited because you're gonna be working with and competing against and playing with in the future?
Yeah, so head out for a little second.
Uh-oh. We may be losing him.
Might be losing. Are you still there, Tayvion?
Am I good on your end?
I think you're good now. You're kind of
we can hear you.
sideways.
The
You're
audio is kinda
sideways, but I
cutting out
think
for me. I can't really hear right now.
you're kind of sideways on our thing. But you were a little bit better there for a little bit.
All right. We may have lost him, but we'll bring him back in here if he can, if we get him back. Obviously, Zach, big time pickup for LSU and Brian Kelly and their staff. Again, landing another in-state recruit in Kylan out of Zachary. I got to tell you, Zach, I love Zachary's uniforms. They've got to be some of the cleanest high
The
school
white,
uniforms
blue, and
I've
the
ever.
red.
I mean, fantastic uniforms. Fantastic. And they look awesome. But, I mean, uniforms don't matter. The player, obviously, is the biggest pickup to that. So, Brian Kelly's staff continues to do it, Zach. I mean, is there much you can say about him and his ability to recruit the state anymore?
Well, exactly. It's another Louisiana guy. It was a guy that, you know, whenever we missed out on Derek Williams, you know, and the sky was falling and everything, you know, it was a guy that in the show after that we mentioned Kylan Jackson, said, hey, hey, you may have missed out on Derek Williams, but don't forget you got Kylan Jackson, right?
Yep.
And this was another guy that you absolutely wanted to land, especially after the hit of not getting Derek Williams. And they do exactly that. They get Kylan Jackson to commit to the Tigers, which is really big and really just awesome for LSU and Brian Kelly. It's another stepping stone in shutting up the mouths of some of the media and some of the haters that have said he's not been able to recruit the state. I think we've got Tayvion back. Let's see if we can add him back now. Let's see if we got him. You there, Tayvion? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm all good. My phone started like glitching out and stuff. I don't know if it started getting too hot or what, but I think we're good now.
All good, man.
No problem, man.
We were talking about the recruiting. You know how Kylan Jackson obviously just committed. You know how important is to you to see the 2023 class and all the guys how exciting is it to see all these guys that are going to be coming to LSU eventually? You know, hopefully we'll see all of them sign. You know, how exciting is it for you to see that those are going to be some guys that you're going to be working with, competing with, playing with in the next coming years?
To me, I'm super excited about that, and I think it's a really big deal because it's not really just my class that's important. It's obviously the classes ahead of me, and you know, even maybe the classes below me, because I'm trying to make it to where LSU is definitely a national championship contender. So you know, it's going to take more than just one class to be able to do that. We got Coach Kelly and the rest of the staff got to continue to recruit the heck out of everybody. And, you know, I think he's done a great job. And, you know, I'm trying to help out, too. I've been reaching out to players and things like that, trying to have everybody doing the way. But, you know, it's a really exciting thing seeing how the 23 and the 24 class is panning out, for sure.
Absolutely. We love to hear that recruits are out there recruiting as well. So that's big time. We appreciate that as LSU fans to hear that. So one more question for you. I got one more question for you. I'm not sure if anybody else has questions in the comments or Zach. But my last question for you is how big in your decision did Brian Kelly's offensive scheme play into that? I mean, obviously Brian Kelly is known for running 12 personnel, one running back, two tight ends a lot. And he loves to put two tight ends out there. And in fact, we're kind of lacking in the tight end position a little bit. Obviously, we've had some guys step up recently in camp. He mentioned Mason Taylor. But I mean, how big of a role did that scheme play into your decision, knowing that there's going to be two tight ends used a lot?
To me, that's definitely a huge role. That's probably one of the biggest roles for me, because I want to go to a program that's going to use me to the best of my abilities, and obviously showcase the talent that I have. So you know that was just a great decision maker for me, because Brian Kelly, you know, he's always been known just for being able to use the tight end and just use it extremely well, possibly better than any other coach in the country. So that was a huge deciding factor for me.
Awesome. Zach, you got anything else?
Well, Tayvion, as we just mentioned, recruiting and you said you've been recruiting yourself. So, is there some guys that LSU fans need to kind of look out for? Some guys that we need to kind of pay attention to?
I can't think of any names off the top of my head right now, but one guy in the class of 23, he recently committed to Ohio State, but I'm trying to get him to flip over to LSU. Is Jermaine Matthews? I personally think he's the best corner in Ohio, and I definitely think that LSU Nation could use him. I'm trying to get that flip.
Okay,
there you go.
Right.
We like it. We like
LSU
it.
was. We know LSU was in on him. He did commit to Ohio State, so maybe y'all's connection might help a little bit there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, I'm definitely working on my end for sure.
There you go. Well, hey, Tayvion, we really appreciate you taking the time to do this. Appreciate you joining in. Guys we appreciate you dropping your questions in here. Tayvion, we're really excited about you and the future for LSU. We're looking forward to see you in the purple and gold playing in Death Valley. We're super excited for you and your family. We're excited for you. So appreciate you joining in, man.
That.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
We'll get all of his social media handles.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, tell us your social media handles so they can get in there and give you some follows on Instagram, Twitter, whatever you like.
Yeah, my Twitter is at Tayvion Galloway, and my Instagram is Tayvion Galloway 13.
Tayvion Galloway.
Pretty simple.
13.
Should be pretty easy for them to follow.
There you go.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Appreciate you joining in, man. We'll catch you. We'll catch you here sometime soon.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all, and y'all stay blessed.
Yeah, man. You too.
You too, man.
Yep. Bye.
All right, Zach. Another awesome recruit. Absolutely. Love to hear what he's been saying in our interview. I mean, his faith about Brian Kelly and this staff, about his game. I mean, I think Brian Kelly knows what he's doing when he's looking for these players, man. I mean,
I agree.
Every player we've kind of interviewed and talked to, they're brilliant young men, and I'm super excited about Tayvion and what he can bring to LSU.
Well, and they also want to recruit themselves. I mean,
absolutely.
Tayvion said that, and when we interviewed JoJo Stone said the same thing.
Yep. Definitely some guys at Grayson he could be in contact with for sure. We got two Grayson boys already with Michael Doherty too. So he kind of got a pipeline there, Grayson to LSU. Hopefully we can continue that. Absolutely.
We'll pick out guys out of the state of Georgia. We'll do it.
For sure. All right, guys. We appreciate you joining in and commenting. We'll hit a quick break, and then we'll come back and wrap up this interview. Appreciate you joining in for the bonus episode. Make sure you go follow us on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, all at Tigers Avenue, for daily updates on the show and all things LSU sports. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to click off and hit that subscribe button at Tigers Avenue. We broadcast all of our shows live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. All right, everybody. Man, recruiting has been quite an exciting time as of late for LSU, and I think Tayvion speaks to that excitement as well with his interview today. Great interview. Jerry Zimmerman, 23 class is straight fire. I mean, I've got to agree. I absolutely got to agree. I mean, adding Kylan Jackson was a big part. Alan Landry, very happy. Kylan Jackson is staying home. I mean, big get. I mean, big time get. I mean, this past 3 commits has been huge for LSU and the state of Louisiana. People who were claiming he can't recruit the state of Louisiana. I said it. They were going to eat some crow. And boy, oh boy, they have been lately. 5-star Shelton Sampson picks the Tigers. Ricky Collins flips to the Tigers. And now Kylan Jackson out of Zachary picks the Tigers. And I don't think they're done in the state of Louisiana. So really exciting time for recruiting. Once again, I want to thank Tayvion for joining in. He was fantastic. I appreciate all y'all hopping on for the bonus episode. It's a great time to be a Tiger when it comes to recruiting and this staff. All right, guys, we'll catch you next time in the Tigers Avenue. 5-star Hero, take us out. Peace.
Who that? 5-star. Who that 5-star? And the LSU Tigers, LSU